Good day. Want to break down a little for you the preparation for marriage in the Catholic Church. We're going to look at two pieces today. We're going to look at first, one dealing with issues related to your experiences, background, and how that affects your marriage. And then secondly, the particular issue of cohabitation. So, first, I want to talk a little bit about the focus inventory. The focus inventory is a test that couples take as part, or one of the inventories that couples can take as part of their marriage preparation in the Catholic Church. If you notice here on slide 2, I have examples of focus sample questions. And just in a minute, you're going to get an opportunity to take a look at this after you hear from me about my own experience. So normally the story is that in the Catholic Church, couples take about 8 to 12 months in preparation for the marriage. So now, this upcoming July, my wife and I will celebrate our 20th wedding anniversary, God willing. Um, we only took 5 months. I don't think we're necessarily on the accelerated course, but that's how it worked out. And during the marriage preparation, we met with our pastor. We took the focus inventory, and then we also did a retreat. And what I can say about my experience and background that were really revealed during marriage prep and throughout the marriage is that when my wife and I completed the focus inventory, and it's about 180 questions, what became really clear is that we needed to discuss finances. I was a 30-year-old man, but in many respects, I was still financially a child. In fact, I was bouncing checks and things like that. And I have a finance degree. I mean, I don't know. So I understood the principles of basic finance, but I couldn't live them out. And a lot of that had to do with just my own background. When I was in college, I got into debt, and my father bailed me out, and it just instilled some really bad habits. Um, so that was something that we had to really dig into. And interestingly enough, that's become a real strength in our marriage over the 20 years. But thank goodness we had that focus inventory to address um, just our different financial habits to talk about. So, one purpose of the preparation is to raise issues that need to be discussed, and that was certainly the case in our marriage. Then the second thing I would say, as far as the marriage prep, is that you you discuss the issues, you talk about them, and then you pray and discern, and you do any kind of like discernment process. But one thing that happens is that, in my experience of the nearly 20 years, is that more issues will be revealed, more habits, attachments, addictions come up. So, for example, my own experience, as I think I shared with you in class, is that um, given that my parents were divorced when I was 9, and my parents would fight, but they would never resolve anything. And so, what happened is I had this idea in my head that a healthy marriage, there was no fighting, there was no confrontation. And so, anytime there was tension, I would just swallow it and try to make peace. And so, what's happened for me is, I had to get professional help and counseling just to come to that insight about why I believe that and how it didn't work anymore. And really, that's been one of my own spiritual works, is learning how to share my feelings, communicate, confront, and that's one of the areas that we've had to grow. And so, the marriage prep in the Catholic Church, I think, is essential. Um, but more will be revealed in a marriage. If you're together long enough, you're going to have more issues that are going to come up. You're going to have to resolve. Sometimes get professional help. Um, so that's been kind of my own experience. Not only the impact of my experience and my background in my marriage, but how to continue to address those.